Silent Hill 2 is a story about a not-so-silent man, James, who went to a not-so-silent place called Silent Hill 2, as his dead wife sent him a letter detailing how she was not dead. In particular, she mentioned Silent Hill 2. Apparently, this whole town was their special place. Charming. In any case, after an existential stare down with his mirror image, and after not opening his car's trunk, he makes his way down toward the town. He makes acquaintance with Angela, a weird woman who also came here looking for someone.
I think you'd better stay away.
I guess I really don't care.
This town, there's something wrong with
I
it.
guess I really don't care.
I'm not lying.
No, I guess I really don't care.
But why?
Silent Hill 2. Now this James fella is a bit of a strange guy. If I were in his shoes, getting a letter from my dead wife and meeting this, charming lady, would have had me booking the train to the next loud valley in a rapidly. Yet even being attacked by a weird, disgusting, decomposing, decrepit, dastardly monster doesn't really faze him that much. Indeed, he just picks up a piece of wood and starts clobbering away. All this would have had me burn the letter and never look back. But then again, I'm not mentally disturbed. At least not utterly.
John. I'm E. Come to. S. Stingif.
Huh?
Educate. Jam.
What the? Who the fuck is Jam? In the apartment complex, James meets a couple of fresh faces. Apart from these friendly fellows, he makes acquaintances with a dickhead child. A physically and mentally unwell man whose hands are obviously not quite clean. And not just from the act of projectile vomiting, if you catch my drift. My name is James.
Eddie.
No, James. His dad self-gooned off on the telly and triangled strategy. The weird woman from earlier is also here. She became a bit weirder. The most befuddling of this frankly not functional fellowship is Geometry Dash, who looks freaky and gets freaky with other horrid creatures. The other residents evil of Silent Hill also don't seem to take notice of the Octopath Traveler, which makes him all the more mysterious. Now, even though we're in a horrifying place whose residents range all the way from vile, disgusting, disfigured creatures to weirdos, we don't just hack and whack and smack our way around these claustrophobic hallways. We also have to solve a couple of puzzles. Silent Hill 2 is kind of like if you stapled together a David Lynch film and Blue's Clues. Or like Professor Layton, if instead of taking place in the fictional land of Britain, it took place in the real land of Britain. After an encounter with Pharaoh Man, which left him tired and suicidal, James leaves the apartment for the park. There, James finally finds his dead wife, except it ain't his dead wife. She just happens to look the exact same way, but I mean, she wears a different outfit and has a different haircut. Analyzing this circumstance in a syllogistic manner, we arrive at the conclusion that this must be an entirely different person. She's also not called Marie, but Maria. I mean, come on, bro. That's different letters. As Marie wasn't in the park, which could have been the special place she spoke about, James heads to the bowling alley. I mean, that could be the special place, right? The dickless fatty gets called a gutless fatso by the dickhead child. I hope that doesn't stir anything deep within him. Any old scars? Past trauma, perhaps? But we have no time for that. We got a child to stalk. To catch the little rascal, James and Maria set out to the hospital, where Maria, thanks to some sort of illness or some such, must rest. Huh, familiar. Sadly, not even the local nurses can help her, mostly because they are weird zombie monster creatures, but a couple of pills will do. On the hospital roof, this place is a bit strange. There's not really anything to do up here. Oh shit. Fuck you, Very Stay Life is a shit game anyway. Child? Are you in here? I got some candy for you. Laura claims to have known Mary for over a year, but James' superior arcane knowledge of simple arithmetic shoots a hole through her testimony. Leaving him enraged by her inexplicably childish behavior. After screaming at the child,
Liar!
She tells James about a letter from Mary, which just so happens to be in this suspicious-ass room. Jesus Christ, child, don't leave me here with these eldritch freak shows. James is promptly locked in with these eldritch freak shows. James and Maria reconvene, though she is mad that James cares more about his dead wife than his alive not wife. She's also mad he can't open the fridge. All madness aside, they still have to find the girl.
She's all alone.
Just like me, for real, for real. Get your quiz show out of my damn elevator. Wait, do I know you? That face, it's familiar. It's the triangular face guy. I know that guy. That's not good. Get your dead women out of my damn elevator. James is very sad now. After all, his fake wife just died. But there's always a bright side, I tell ya. After all, he's managed to find a key to the historical society of Silent Hill. 2. Ain't nothing in the world that lifts your spirits after the traumatizing death of the spitting image of your dead wife is a stroll down history lane of a place that looks like H.P. Lovecraft just all over all your memories, fears and feelings. Just gotta head down Bowser's infinite staircase and have a look around. Jesus Christ, this place ain't a museum, it's a prison. Naturally, Jimmy Boy explores the prison and stumbles upon a most mystifying matter. His dead wife who didn't die, his dead double didn't die, and then she dies. And also, the prison in general is quite strange, disturbing really. And this is the point of the game where things go off the rails completely. James' insanity grows as James seems to deem it appropriate to combine a horseshoe, a wax doll and a lighter to use as a trapdoor handle. Daddy? What the hell's happening in there? What the?
You don't even care about yourself anyway. You disgusting pig.
Yeah, don't thank me too much. Now we meet an old friend. Good old Eddie. You know, maybe after all this disturbing stuff, we should settle down and have that pizza. Oh, maybe we should instead have a brutal shootout. This is the moment where Eddie became Heisenberg. Die. Die, you dumb bitch. Die. No, Eddie. It can't be. You can't be dead. What have I done? What you have to understand is, James is a man that is quick on the uptake, which is why it only took him a few hours of being in this abominable hellscape to realize that something weird might be going on. Monsters everywhere, a wife that isn't your wife, who has died multiple times now, and every actual human in this place happens to be some sick weirdo. And remember that letter that brought James to this place in the first place? Neither do I. After all he has is a blank piece of paper in his pocket. But that's enough introspective. James needs to get to the hotel. Due to his deducements, that must be the special place Mary was talking about. After the longest, foggiest boat ride there ever had been, he arrived. What remains now is to find room 312. James has a bit of fun here, listens to some piano, reads the letter, does some puzzles, but the truth awaits.
Died 3 years ago.
You fucking killed her, dude!
Now, things don't look too good. James actually killed his wife, Laura hates him now, the crazy woman goes up some burning staircase, never to be seen again, and the polyhedral dudes once again kill Maria. This is getting out of hand, and now there's 2 of them. But once again, there's a bright side. James now understands. He kills the Pyramid Heads, his manifested guilt, which explains why they keep killing his fake dead wife, and goes on to face Maria. His inner Sigma male awakened, he decides to go his own way, which in turn makes Maria turn into a horrifying monster. Ain't a more poetic way to end the longest and most bizarre guilt trip than by once again killing your wife. Now, an important thing to mention is that your choices have consequences, and those consequences will rain down upon you right about now. Well, it's less about actual choices and more about your general behavior, like looking at things or listening to women or not nearly dying. If you are a normal person, you will probably get one of these 2 endings. James is seen explaining to Mary and by extension to us why he killed her.
I just couldn't watch you suffer. I wanted you out of the way.
It's complicated. After this, depending on the ending, he either kills himself out of guilt or decides to adopt the child Mary once meant to adopt. Or maybe he just stalks her. It's kind of unclear, and old habits die hard. There's also the "Jesus Christ, what the fuck is wrong with you" ending, where James goes insane and decides to dig out Mary's corpse, probably out of his trunk, and pray to the gods in some bizarre ritual to bring her back. To be fair, the insanity was foreshadowed.
How can you sit there and eat pizza?
A very interesting ending is the one where it turns out it was aliens the whole time. Good old Harry shows up, James dies, and that's that. If Silent Hill 2 catches you simping, you unlock the Maria ending. Any person who's ever talked about sexual frustration in regards to this game gets that ending. In the final confrontation, rather than meeting Maria, you face Mary. Lost in his delusion, James decides to continue his life, substituting his late wife with this idealized version his mind through the power of Silent Hill has created. This ending portrays a version of James that hasn't learned a single lesson from his time here. One final detail, Maria's cuff. implies what is in store for the James who has surrendered to his delusions. In what resembles a punishment by the fates themselves, he once again shall lose his wife, either to illness or, as he hasn't grown at all, more likely, once again by his own hands. The implication most likely being that he will once again suppress his guilt, have some sort of breakdown, and be summoned by Silent Hill, reliving his inner demons until he once again fails to grow from it. Stuck in a loop of his own worst nightmare, he will remain until he one day is freed by the sweet release of death. There's also a funny dog ending.